Thank y'all for having me today. I want to start out with kind of the elephant in the room. I get it. We have some really good players. Really good players. That's why I'm up here. We had some really talented guys. We have 8 guys going to play on Saturdays against fall. I get it. We had some dudes. But we did some really good stuff, all right? So I hope that what we talk about today, you can apply at really any level. I consider myself a small school coach. Ask Fearless Friday. We're very simple, okay? And to be honest now, what we do at El Dorado is probably less offensively than what I did at Junction City in Class 2A. So we're going to go through a little bit of scheme today. I'm not going to talk much program. But before we start, I'd like staff here, El Dorado guys, if you just stand up and wave at the crowd. We got the best staff in Arkansas, guys, right here. Awesome football coaches, great guys to work with. So, I want to take you back into the mind of a play caller, or take you back to the end of football season when you're sitting there looking at tape and you're like, all right, we worked very good. What do we got to do to get better? Who do we need to talk to? What do we have in our locker room? We look around, we got some fast receivers, 10 personnel. All right, here we go. So we got that solved, right? So now we got to figure out, first things first, yes, we're 10 personnel, but we're going to run the football, okay? So what scheme are we going to use? Well, if we're 10 personnel, odds are we're probably going to run some zone, okay? So we start out with the inside zone, check, okay? Secondly, all right? Well, if you're on inside zone, you got to run the outside zone, right? Okay, so we go outside zone. And then you have to have a gap run, right? You have to have a gap run, I'm asking. Y'all know? I didn't know. Okay, I felt like you did. You run zone and gap. Okay? So we picked one. We're going to try to get really good at a few things. We love GT counter. Alright? We visited with some people that had some success with GT counter the previous season. And we're all in. We got our spring install plan. It's all mapped out on the calendar. Here we go. We got 3 runs. Too easy, right? We start running inside zone. We've been running nothing but gap. I've been running nothing but gap runs for like 8 years. We're terrible at it. Okay, we get through the first week of spring. Not very good. Second week, we're supposed to go to outside zone, right? We got our install plan. We got to follow that thing. Okay? No. We go back. We go through inside zone. Okay? Now it's June. Okay, we're still running inside zone, all right? We're still not very good at it, okay? Our install plan, we're way past what we're supposed to be, okay? We're still running inside zone, and somewhere around maybe like July, team camp, stuff like that, you start to see like, we've been doing this over and over every day. We're getting kind of good at it. Our back is a zone back. Our quarterback can pull it and take to the house. We got elite wideouts. Are we ready to progress to the next thing? Yeah, maybe, okay? But we decided as a staff, we don't need to progress to the next thing. Because we start looking at, well, we can tag this, we can do that, we can kind of format the way that we want to run inside zone to be anything that we want it to be. So here's our spring install plan, okay? Now we're headed into scrimmage with North Little Rock. Here's our runs. Okay, here's our run plan, okay? So we're going to run inside zone, right? That's it, okay? So today I'm going to talk about zone and a little bit of the why, as far as the play caller, how we tag, what we do with it, how we format it. But I am a firm believer, and I'm going into next fall. I'm not changing my mind on any of it. That's all we're going to do. And the reason why is it's very simple, and we'll just kind of get into some of that. So let's start out. Great summer of, and I'm sorry I'm having the remote here is not working very well, but we're starting to figure out, you know, we did this over and over and over every day. We got really good at it. We got a running backs coach that's right here on the front row, D'Anthony Curtis, that loves running zone, and he can teach it. Okay, it fits what we're doing. Our offensive line coach, Chris Borowski, loves the zone scheme. Okay, suddenly the kids are buying into it, and you know, you kind of see the skill guys like, we're going to do anything else, but everything is progressing and we're getting a whole lot better. Okay, so we're running inside zone, right, and then here comes the why. Okay, A lot of you probably think I'm wrong on this, but pull the guy, you telegraph where you run the ball, okay? You're not going to have to reach block anybody ever. That sounds amazing, okay? Because when we get to outside zone, it's like, all right, we're going to get really good at running stretch. We're going to get the edge. We're going to get our fast guy out there in space. But first, we got to put that D in, okay? We ain't going to hook them. We ain't going to get out there. So it's like, what if we run inside zone and read that guy like Kyrie? We just run like the old bash concept that Taj Boyd, Clemson, those guys ran, where you trick the quarterback into being the downhill guy on the inside zone. All right, cool. So now we have 2 runs, okay? So now we can tag that, and we just kind of stay with that and try to get better and better and better at it. And I mean, I heard Coach a second ago talking about scout teams. It's not any better. It's probably not any better for him. It's not any better for us. They're all terrible, okay? So the least amount of things that we can do with our scout team and just be very, very small with it, the better, okay? So it's not going to be a ton of stuff, but it looks pretty complicated once you start watching our tape, okay? In fact, we got to like week 7, and the defensive coordinator said, hey, I recognize y'all's film, and y'all aren't pulling anybody. We're just running inside zone, and that's it, okay? So here are the 4 fronts that we decided that's pretty much all you see, okay? I mean, you probably agree with that, all right? Our kids understand what a front looks like. Our running backs can ID who a 3-tech is, okay? So now we're starting to see that we only have 1 run scheme, okay, but our kids know every in and out of what we're doing, all right? So even front, odd front, whatever we're going to see, we had the 4 that we felt like were the most popular. We're going inside zone against it every single day until it's perfect. Every single day until it's perfect. Over and over and over again. So that was it, okay? And the beauty of this, too, is when it comes to game plan and run game, you really don't have to. We're going to throw these 4 fronts out there each week, and we're going to make sure that, yeah, we're playing this 4-3 team, and then they line up against us, and they move to something different. Cool, we already practiced every day. Okay? All right, now, back into the mind of a play caller here. I can't teach a whole lot of different schemes to kids. We don't have time, right? So we take the very first run that we have, inside zone, just straight up inside zone read. Okay? And I have it drawn up to the left up here. And here, when I was planning this out, it just more and more and more made me feel like, you know what? I'm glad we're only doing one thing because there's a lot of stuff. Okay? So like anybody else, we give our quarterback pre-snap freedom. Okay? A guy's uncovered, we're going to throw him the ball. Okay? We see a one-on-one matchup that we like on the edge, we're going to take a shot. Okay? We like a 2-on-1 bubble, fast screen, whatever it is out there, we're going to throw the ball right now, let's go. Okay? Haven't called play yet, right? That's anytime, any day. Okay? Inside zone, I just kind of threw all of those different thoughts. You know, I mentioned the pre-snap ones, but now you get into post-snap stuff and what can happen. So you hand the football off, your tailback can stay play side, your tailback can cut backside. Okay? The pre-snap fast screens, the matchups I talked about, uncovered hitches. Post-snap, you know, your quarterback pulls it, D and squeezes. Now he's going to keep it until he's forced to pitch the ball out there in space. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. Then what's the linebacker going to do? Okay, so he's going to show up, try to blitz off the edge, pre-snap. We got a built-in hot. Okay, that's a lot of stuff for one play. That's a whole lot of stuff. And to get good at it, you have to practice it. So why in the world would we sit there and try to have 8 different runs, which we had last year, believe it or not? We try to carry 6 runs into the game like we're going to out-scheme somebody. Okay? Now we have 1, and we feel like we have an answer for whatever you want to do. And we feel like that our offensive line understands when the football is snapped, they're going to play fast, they're not going to have to think. We feel like our quarterback knows if there's space out there, let's get the ball to a playmaker. We feel like our running back knows how to make a read on the first man past the center on the inside zone. And we feel like that because we do it every single day, over and over and over. Okay? So that's just kind of a word vomit up there of what I thought, kind of just going into this, of why that we would want to stay with one scheme. Okay? And you guys probably do all this stuff. No, we're not teaching anything new. It's just the fact that we only do one thing, and we have all these pre-snap rules, and we're going to let our playmakers go do their job. That's really it. Okay, so I've got some clips real quick of, okay, so to start out, pre-snap, 2-on-1 out there. Okay, not really sure why he decided to mess with the tailback. Typically, we tell him to get out of the way and throw it to him right now. Let's go. But pre-snap, we have inside zone call, and we throw it out there, and there's a dude out there to make a play. Okay, that's really it. I mean, nothing to it. We didn't do anything fancy. All right, inside zone pre-snap. Now, here's against Lake Hamilton, post-snap linebacker shows late. Quarterback sees it. We got a 3-on-2 out there. Throw it out in space, and let's go. Okay. Again, inside zone with a simple fast screen call. Those are the things that can happen. You know this, okay? Tailback hits it front side. 4th and 2 state championship game against Greenwood. House. He did what he was supposed to do. He's ran that play 10 million times. 4th and 2. That's what we wanted. He takes to the crib. Okay? Here's another view of it if you'd like to see that again. 4th and 2. Here we go. Front side, right? Zone right. They're overcompensating here for the pitch and the pull. The quarterback's dynamic. They're worried about him pulling it. Okay, they're worried about the trips up top. They've got 5 guys up there to try to defend that. And I don't blame them. So our tailback he just stays the course. Hits it play side on the inside zone. Okay? Literally nothing complicated. That's it. Okay? Here's the backside now with the tailback. Okay? He's just doing what he's supposed to do. He's just doing what he's supposed to do. He presses it, cuts the backside. All of these things, same play, just the different deals that can happen as it moves. Okay? Inside zone, DN runs upfield. Okay, hand the ball off. We got numbers in the box. Okay, inside zone, in squeezes, they have an extra guy out there, but we make a miss anyway. Quarterback pull and keep. Okay, inside zone again. All right, this time DN squeezes, quarterback pulls it. He's forced to pitch it out in space. And our kids have done this over and over and over again, and they're really good at it. So that's our run game, okay? As far as just straight up inside zone, we haven't tagged anything. We always have a fast screen call, so I'm not counting that as a tag. Like when we run the ball, we're not telling receivers to block somebody. They're not going to do that. So we're going to run a fast screen, okay? They're not. We're going to run a fast screen, okay? And pre-snap, if it's 2-on-1, we're going to throw them the ball, all right? But now we're going to get into tags, and I think this is where we kind of made our money this year, and we're able to progress and to get the kids to buy into what we had going with this scheme. Okay, so the first tag is bash. I mentioned it a second ago. Okay, it's power read without pulling the guy. Can you do that? Yeah, can. Okay, you run inside zone away from it. You run a fly sweep. If the DN stays at home, you hand the ball off. If he chases the fly sweep, now your quarterback is tricked into being a downhill tailback. Okay, so there's inside zone another way. Again, the 5 guys up front have literally done nothing different. Okay, and it just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. All right. Kind of the why there, if the boxes tell us to throw that fast screen, whatever it is, maybe we can't get out on the edge, maybe we can't block a guy on a fast screen, something like that. Now we can add a hat by getting the back out on the fly sweep. Okay? And again, minimal execution in that I'm going to get on the edge and I'm not hooking your D in. I don't have to. It's easy, okay? Here we go. So this particular team here, we found a film that they was slant in motion, okay? So they slant to a motion, and so we send the guy in motion, and then we're going to run the fly sweep back where it came from, and that is all to get the slant, okay? Now we have flow naturally going away from where the ball's going. So we get a slant here. Okay, now, freeze it. I've got my best 2 players on the football field with 1 guy to tackle them, and everybody else is running the other way, okay? And we're running inside zone. It's easy, okay? So, fly motion, boom, okay? We make a miss right here. That probably should have been a keep, okay? But again, you got your two dynamic guys out there on the edge and one guy to tackle them, I mean, I like the odds there. All right, here's another give. Hand the football off, minimal execution. The ball's on the edge with the second fastest kid in the state of Arkansas. I mean, and I didn't have to block a DN. We're running a jet sweep. Yes, we're running a jet sweep and not blocking the edge guy. All right, here we go. I guess our camera battery is low. All right, so flow, you just notice, flow is going opposite where the ball is going. Defensive players are getting downhill and reacting to the offensive line running inside zone. Why? Because we gashed you with inside zone. You got to stop it, okay? And now that we've established that we can run the ball and push people around vertically, now we're going to get out on the edge without having to block that D in. Okay, and here's another give circumstance where, I mean, it's like throwing a fast screen. Up front, you're just getting flow to go the wrong way. Okay, I think you get the point there, and then, you know, the only thing that can take it away is when the edge guy tries to overplay that fly sweep. All right, pull it, get downhill to the inside zone. All right, same thing. They set the edge, quarterback pulls it, now we're getting downhill to the inside zone. And I think the timing of it there is where we're starting to see that little hesitation on that read is allowing the zone to develop. There's so many cutback lanes in there. I mean, he gets straight downhill and goes into the end zone, but there's about two different spots right here, I think, on the tape where he can cut back and make a play. All right, now, second tag. Run zone, take a backside tackle and block the end. All right, now we read a mid-level guy. So we're taking away reading the traditional defensive end zone read. Now we're going to read a mid-level guy, okay? How are we going to do that? I mean, you can call it RPO, okay. We're just going to see if that guy squeezes down, we're going to throw like a quick game concept, okay? That's really what we're doing. And odds are we know it's going to happen pre-snap, okay? So this is scrimmage against North Little Rock, and really this had more to do with the space. We're running the inside zone up front, and we got the uncover guy out there, and we have a run game called, we throw a hitch, okay? So we can RPO, if you guys love RPOs, we can RPO. All right, but really at the end of the day, it was just like a guy's going to squeeze down because we're showing low hat, so we're running inside zone, okay? Next thing is quick game, okay? I would not say that this is an RPO at all. We tag the run, okay? So we call inside zone, tell the backside tackle to block the D in, and we're calling a quick game. If our quarterback and running back here quick game, running back knows quarterback's throwing, okay? But he's still going to carry out a great faith, okay? So this really isn't an opportunity to hand the football off on zone. We just stopped quick setting, okay? We just stopped quick setting. Why? I mean, I always quick set on quick game, right? Catch and throw, get it out. I mean, I'd rather the offensive line push vertical and get linebackers to bite downhill. That's really the only thing that we do there. So now we have one run scheme, and it's the same as our pass pro on quick game. Okay? Here we go again. Now we're halfway into our offense, and the O-line's literally done one thing. Okay? Trying to high-low guy out there, linebackers getting downhill. We didn't want those high hats on quick game. You tell a guy to sit quick, he's going to stand straight up, so call inside zone. All right, here's a few cut-ups of that. This was just more of a covered, uncovered situation here. Here's my favorite clip of this, and I'll show you why at the end of the play. Okay? Biggest concern is always with calling inside zone quick game. What if you high-low a guy, all right, you get to number 2 in the progression, and your guard's up 7 yards on a linebacker. Okay, how are you going to stop that? Well, we're not going to tell them we're throwing the ball, okay? They think we're running inside zone, they're ready to go, okay? I know you do that already, I get that. But here's some rhyme or reason to why I'm not changing it, okay? And this is just my belief. I think that officials are trained to have an area that they watch. And I think when the ball snaps, they all watch the flow of the ball, every one of them. Okay? That's just my feeling on it. Okay? So here we go. We have a quick game concept call. We're running inside zone. Okay? We get the ball out of our hand. Right now, we're not getting called for anybody downfield. They're not downfield. Right? They're 2 yards, 3 yards, maybe. Okay? We're not going to get called for that. But we're not really open. Okay? We scramble. And this is not a great play call. Okay? This is just kind of something that we saw that was like, you know what? We can have a little success with this because of the end result. All right. So a quick game was kind of covered. We had a man look on the goal line. Obviously, we called a man beater, but it still didn't work. Quarterback flushes. What do I do? I'm an athlete. I'm going to run. Okay? So what does he do? He makes a play. Scrambles. We throw a touchdown. Check out my left guard right here. All-state guy. He's on the 3-yard line. The ball's on the 10. We could have thrown. I guess we could have threw him the ball. But we scramble. We score. And there's not a flag in sight. Once I saw that, I mean, until I get called for it, I'm going to keep doing it. Quick game again. Outside linebackers, just get them to flow. Just get them to see that low hat. Here we go. Okay? All right, now, let's take a step back into the 1980s. All right? We're throwing fast screens and kind of having trouble with people being athletic enough to get out there and make a play on the edge, and also, you know, sniff out runs, squeeze, make plays. There's some dynamic guys out there on the defense side of the ball out of space. Okay, so we felt like that we wanted to run a tailback draw. Okay, Coach Curtis on Sunday is like, hey, what if we put a draw in? And I'm all right. So my question to them was, how are we going to block it? So I'll let you guess what we block on our tailback draw. Inside zone, okay? It's the same theory as bash now, okay? Because it gives it a little bit more time to develop, okay? And you get a vertical push, and suddenly you see all these cutback lanes. It's like, we're running this trash-looking draw that we really haven't repped a lot. It's super easy, but our kids are confident because they know what they're doing. It's not installed, okay? It's just we're going to pump a look because linebackers are chasing out of there to catch a fast receiver. And now we're going to hand the football off. We're going to run inside zone, and outside linebackers are running the wrong way. Okay? That's how we fell on this. Great thing about it, again, it wasn't like we're installing a special here. We added to what we had going. All right? We didn't add a new scheme. We just said, hey, we're going to run this draw. Coach Curtis and I think we walked out of the locker room, and I started pump faking, and he was working on his timing. We're figuring out how we were going to teach it. And then by Monday, we had it installed. So I'm telling you that because it fits within the system, okay? Any little tag that you can do to make what you're doing look more complicated, but you're still keeping it simple is going to give you a better opportunity to win. And they're overplaying those fast screens. Let's pump fake it, a little trash pump fake, get some flow going. Now we're downhill and inside zone. Same thing, both of these were kind of red zone, goal line looks, trips. You see kind of linebackers freezing. We've thrown so many fast screens. That's kind of the point. For 3 years, we've just been throwing bubbles out there, okay? We have fast guys that can make plays. Now we're going to pump it, we're going to run inside zone. I didn't put a cut up on here, but our rule with it, and I think it was on the slide, but our rule with it is you still have your 2-on-1s, right? If you're in 2x2 running this draw play, and you got numbers, we're not going to run draw. We're going to throw the bubble. So that's still in. You don't have to get all the way into the draw as far as pre-snap. If you like it out there, throw the 2-on-1. Okay? So the tailback would at times be expecting to get the ball downhill inside zone and the ball's out of our hand. Okay? So we didn't really get into that. We definitely didn't overcoach it. We just let them go play. All right? Now, next thing. Inside zone, we got a dynamic quarterback. Okay? At times, you only do one thing, right? People are going to scheme you up and be ready for you. Okay? So against a man look, if we're having trouble, this is kind of our go-to. we call inside zone, stay the backside tackle, okay, and have the tailback ISO. Okay, so we're running quarterback ISO. It ends up being more like a draw look. First couple of times that we walked through to practice, quarterback took like a one step, kind of delayed it, just naturally. Okay, and I didn't overcoach it. It kind of gave time to develop. Timing worked out good. Let him have some ownership in that. So this was originally the intent was we're going to run downhill quarterback ISO. Okay, and then it really turned into more of now our quarterback draw. Okay, same thing, different look. Can't get it on the edge. There's a guy out there that we can't block. Now we can add an extra hat in the box with the quarterback runner. Okay, so here we go. Here's a great thing about it too. Running back's cheating. Okay, running back's cheating. It doesn't matter. I mean, look at this alignment. He's playing like a sniffer back up there. He never gets there. We still get away with it. I mean, my belief with that too is tempo kind of solves that. So we're playing fast. Running back gets up there. We go quarterback ISO. Now we've added an extra hat to the box. You've got me outnumbered on the edge. I outnumber you in the box. All right. Now, how do you build a program? How do you get a locker room to believe in what you're doing? Okay, you get good at something. Okay, you get good at running inside zone. You don't have to add anything to it. So now the kids are just buying into this like we are so simple. Okay, from another sideline, we had a team yell to the defense, "Watch inside zone." I mean, that's what we're in every play. So that was kind of how it just carried over to our team. That was our mentality. That's what we're going to do, okay? So let's take that and take little pieces of that and incorporate it into everything else, all right? So we had one pass pro, okay? We used a 4-man slide, and we blocked big on the backside, okay? And how do we do it? We slid where we needed to. The zone side would be away from where we were hot, okay? I can get into all that, but the main part of this, it blew our minds, okay? And I think it just blew my mind because, again, before this year, I didn't run a lot of zone, okay? But we're looking at it on the board. We're talking about our pass pro. We drop 4-man slide, okay? Big on the backside. Pass set, cool, all right? They block the same exact people as they would running inside zone with a stay tag, okay? So now our pass pro, we're blocking the same people we would block if we're running inside zone. We're just going that way. We're pass setting with it. Okay? Who are we trying to pick up? Who are we responsible for? Our inside zone rules. We're just pass setting. Okay? That's all you need. That's it. Okay? And yeah, then you have to kind of tinker and empty a little bit. You got to know where you're hot for sure. But we didn't need anything else as far as pass pro goes. Okay? And the reason that we didn't need anything else wasn't because we felt like our kids were just way better than everybody. The reason we didn't need anything else was because outside looking in, it looks like so much stuff. And we just have the ability to get really good at a few things. Okay? Even more than that. Okay? We had one kickoff scheme. They could do it in their sleep. We kicked the ball to the same spot just about every time. We had a dynamic guy back there. We'd move the kicker over to the other hash, and we'd sky kick to the same spot that we would deep kick, or to the same landmark, basically. Okay? We had our dogs on our kickoff. They did the same thing every single time. They got good at it. They played confident. We didn't have bust on kickoff. Okay? Punt. We research and find people that are good at special teams. Coach Todd and I at OBU, they've been good at their punt. They've led the world in punt forever. Okay? They've been really efficient at that. They have no breakdowns on punt. So we visited with them and stole his punt scheme. And we took one piece of it and made it ours. We have one thing that we do on punt. We had 0 mistakes on punt this year. I've had about 10 mistakes on punt in the last 2 years, and I'm barely standing up here talking to you today because of that. But we fixed it. And we fixed it by being simple, not trying to do too much, not trying to overcomplicate it. Punt return, we basically had one scheme. Kickoff return, we had one scheme. Okay? And it didn't matter, I mean, we would scout up, you know, we would look and see how you're going to kick, where you're going to kick, whatever. But it didn't matter because we were going to do the same thing. And our kids believed in that. And they believed in that because they started seeing the success in the summer of how we were running the football with the inside zone. And that's just something that just kind of carried through. And I'll be 100% honest with you, I was scared to death going into fall, basically with my job on the line. Here we got to do better, and we're cutting back and doing a lot less. Okay? And it paid off. It paid off just by being simple and believing in it and having the kids buy into it and having success with just doing the little bitty things right every day. Everybody in our program knows how to run inside zone. Everybody knows how to coach it. When we watch film, our kids know they're correcting themselves. They know what to do. When you play fast and you know what to do, you're going to win. All right. Am I good on time?
Yeah.
Okay. So, even more than that, now let's get into the pass game. Okay, we're going to keep it as simple as possible with the 4-minute slide pass pro. What we did in the off season was, I felt like as a play caller, I could dial up a corner post and break off a safety with a double move, and it's beautiful. If that safety bites on that corner and he falls down, we throw it over the middle for a touchdown, it's beautiful, right? Well, it only works if the guy bites on that route on the double move. Okay? What if he doesn't? It's not a good play call. Okay? So what I wanted to figure out was, how do I not make a bad play call? Brilliant, right? I don't want to make a bad play call. I want to give our kids a chance to win. Okay? So we took every pass scheme that I knew about, every pass scheme that all our guys knew about, and just kind of walked through and talked through each one. If we weren't confident that that scheme didn't work against any coverage, it's gone. Not calling. Okay? If we weren't confident that we had an answer, if we see coverage that rolls, it's gone. If you draw it on the board and it didn't have a man beater on there, out. Okay? And suddenly we got 12 drop back schemes that are dwindling. And then we're combining some. So we get down to 4. Okay, we get down to 4 concepts. Okay? And then we wanted to make sure we have some speed. We got guys that can take the top off the defense. Let's make sure every one of those has a pre-snap alert. That if we know from scouting that a safety's not going to get into a backfield or something like that, we can throw a post over the top. Okay? So we're going to have a man beater. We're going to be any coverage zone-wise. It doesn't matter if you roll. It doesn't matter what you do. We're confident against any coverage. Why? Because we're now in the progression world. Okay? And how do we get there? Just by trying to simplify it. Success in the run game throughout the summer. In our pass game, we kind of need to carry the same thing true. Okay? So, if we did not like any of those right there, it was gone. Okay? We end up with 4. We throw 4 birds. We only throw it out of trips. We will throw it out 2x2 some. This isn't changing. So, we throw the drive concept or, inverted shallow cross. Feel like that has man beaters in it. Feel like that's good against any coverage. We throw mesh. And we throw slot fade. Okay? And we took Y cross and slot fade, married them together, and made them a progression. Okay? Now, we do some things off of that are as far as like each individual route has different moving parts and different tags. I'm not going to get into all that, but it ended up being simple in the end. Okay? So again, you want to have an alert. If you got a guy that can take top off the defense, make yourself a good play caller. Have an alert built in where the quarterback sees it pre-snap and he's been told, hey, number 27 is lined up on his side of safety. Don't do anything else but throw the ball over the top. Just stuff like that, okay? So that's where we're at. So the drive concept, everybody throws, I guess you do, I don't know, everybody throws drive, okay? So the thing that we do different on drive, and I've never seen anybody do this before, it's just what we did this year, because our outside receiver at Z on the right was faster than anybody else. So typically people run like a gift hitch over there if they call drive. So we decided, you know what? Let's just take the top off the defense with that guy, and probably going to get two guys running with him anyway. Now we're going to have things open up underneath. Okay? So, taking the scheme, making it simple, making it fit to your kids. All right? So we got the Z running the alert post. Okay? The alert is not in the progression, obviously. Okay? Once the football snapped, we know whether we're throwing the alert within about a half a second. Okay? Then we're going to get into our progression. That's it. Okay? We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? It's progression throws. It's not complicated at all. The thing that makes it fit with inside zone when you get into a progression throw is your kids understand if one's open, throw it to him. If he's not, go to the next guy. Is it too high? Is it one high? Okay? I did not teach my quarterback, I take that back. Day one, we talked about coverages, but I did not teach them middle field open, middle field close, those things. Because all we did was throw progression throws. It didn't matter. There was going to be a built-in answer. If you're playing man coverage, we're going to have some kind of natural rub to get a guy open. Okay, or some kind of in and out cut. That was really the pass game as far as drive concept goes there. Let's see. All right, I'll show you a few alerts, and I'll tell you the why. So this is drive out of empty. We have the built-in alert up top. Down low, we're running smash switch, okay? And then we have the stem dig and the shallow cross come from number 2, okay? We had a safety over here that we felt like the quarterback mentioned, just kind of felt like we wanted to take a shot with him, okay? And you can kind of see pre-snap, he's kind of scanning the field, okay? That was enough for us to, okay, let's throw it over the top. That was all we were looking for, okay? And yes, he's fast, I get it, I know, but it's good stuff, right? So, okay. So he's taking the top off the defense on the alert, safety hangs low, put it out there and let's go, okay? Progression throw, never got to the progression. All right, same thing in the red zone area. Safety, halfback pedal, big boy post over the top. And we see that within about half a second. That guy did not get into any kind of back pedal. Okay? We're going to throw it over the top. Okay? Just kind of the same thing here. We noticed from the drive before, the safety was going to stay low. Okay? Alert post. All right, now with mesh. We throw the mesh the way that, again, probably everybody else does. We throw it as a progression where the back's going to be number 1. The receiver to the backside is going to cheat and set a pick, but not touch anybody. And the backside guy is going to cross, and we're trying to work to get him open. Okay? Rarely ever get to number 3 in the progression. That was kind of my other question going into this thing was, pass pro wise, we're going to throw progressions. You got to be able to pass set all day. Okay? You're going to throw to 1 or 2. You're going to throw to 1 or 2. Okay? We have a way to kind of get to 3 or 4 if you feel like pre-snap you want to work that side, have a tag in there for that. But if the running back's open, we're going to throw him the ball, he's hot. We've got our 4-man slide away from that. Okay, but again, we have our alert. Okay, and I'll go back to that. I mean, we have in the progression, we have the back's going to swing. Here comes the backside receiver. We're going to work to get him open with the play side outside receiver. Okay, and then the 2 slots have the rule of if you're tagged, you run the alert big boy post. If you're not tagged, you go sit against zone coverage and slide if you're playing man. Slide back to the throw side. Okay, so one's open, throw it to him. Here we go. Just like everybody else does. Pre-snap, where's the safety? The quarterback sees that they're rolling, and he feels like that backside safety is going to get to the middle of the field late. So we never get into the progression. One may be open right there, but we never get to it because we're looking at that play side safety for the alert post. He kind of takes a step down. He might be late getting over there, and we fit it before he gets there. Okay, again, progression throw, never get to the progression because the alert tells us to throw the post over the top. All All right, here we go with message number 1. This is how we are teaching it, literally to the quarterback. One's open, throw it to him. There he is, give it to him. Boom, right now, catch and throw. Good thing he was open because we had a few guys get through there. One's not open. One's not open. He goes with the back. Here comes number 2. We are trying to work to set a pick. There's really nobody available there to pick. So the outside receiver coming to the play side, he could play fast and free because there's really nobody there to help. And so we were able to work 1 and 2 pretty quickly. All right. Boots and sprint outs. Boots and sprint outs. You got a dynamic quarterback. Man, I want a bootleg. I want to get them out of the pocket, and I want to sprint out. Okay. I have one reason that I would run a sprint out. Okay. My thought on a sprint out is, why would you take the ball to where everybody in the stadium knows where it's going, and you have to set the edge and have your tackle reach? Okay. We don't practice that. Okay. So how are you going to get your quarterback out on the edge without blocking that DN? We run inside zone. But 2, we're only going to run a sprint pass against the defensive end if it's a forefront that squeezes. Okay? If you're a forefront that squeezes, we're going to run inside zone away from you. That defensive end is going to take a step down, and we got out. That's really it. Okay? So we're going straight, naked bootleg against the forefront with the inside zone. Okay? That's bootleg 1, okay? Whatever concept we're running, whether it's a flood, whatever it is, okay? If you're a forefront team, all right, and your defensive end does a good job of squeezing, well, now I can bootleg. It doesn't matter how good the fake is. I'm out, okay? So we'll do that, okay? As far as sprint out goes, okay? Kind of the same thing, all right? I am not going to sprint to you unless I know that I'm going to get out on the edge. Okay? And I'm not just trying to reset the pocket to let my quarterback throw over here. I'm trying to get that dude out in space where it's one guy, he's not there to take off and run. Okay? So how do we influence the defensive end, and how do we not have to reach a guy inside zone against the team that squeezes? Okay, that's the only way I'm bootlegging, and that's the only way that I am going to sprint out. Okay, I mean, against an odd front, there are times that we will. It just has to be the right look. We have to know a few things on that. Most of you play odd front, so I'm really not telling you anything that's going to help you against this. But if we see a forefront, he squeezes, we'll sprint against you. And that's really all there is to it. Okay. I'd much rather bootleg than sprint out again to get flow going the wrong way. The same thing as our philosophy of match. Okay? So inside zone on boots, inside zone on sprints. Okay? Sometimes we'll tell the O-line that we're bootlegging. Not often. Okay? Kind of depends on the flow of the game. Okay? Meaning that in quick game, I'm never going to tell them, right? We're going to tell them run zone, okay? In bootleg, you better tell them. It's going to take a while, yes. I mean, I was ragging on the refs earlier, but they will call. You run inside zone, get a double up, you're bootlegging, you're going to get a guy downfield, okay? So we will tell them to run inside zone and not go downfield at times, okay? There are some times where it's almost kind of like taking a shot, where we'll risk it to get the hard run look, okay, and get out on the edge by not telling the O-line that we're bootlegging. We're telling them to run the inside zone, okay? And again, the flow of the game would have to dictate that. More times than not, we're going to tell the O-line, hey, the verbiage would be like inside zone, but don't go downfield, okay? One other thought with that, kind of all the pass pro using inside zone, the beauty of that is how we teach inside zone is we're not trying to go We're not trying to go to a linebacker, right? We're trying to get as many doubles as we can, and we're trying to move defensive linemen vertically, okay? We want to take a defensive tackle and never come off and dump him into the linebacker, okay? So with that mindset, you really just have less opportunity there for somebody to get downfield and you get that penalty, okay? That's why we don't really do it with quick game, and that's why we rarely do it with moves. So any questions on that? All right, thanks guys.